Well, I'm from Australia, and Australia is a very large place, so we have a huge range of coastal issues. Australia is, though, a coastal focused nation. 85% of the Australian population lives within 50 kilometres of the coast. And because it's such a big country, we have a whole range of issues. So, of course, sea level rise is a big issue. We also have things, marine heat waves, the Great Barrier Reef, which is, of course, globally famous, suffers, unfortunately, many marine heat waves and is at severe risk of being lost to climate change. Australia is also known as the place of drought and flooding rains. So we have these two extremes where we have periods of no rain and then sudden rain. And right now in Australia, we have rain that is happening which is being measured in meters rather than millimeters. So extreme rainfall, which has dramatic effects on coastlines, flooding coastal hinterlands, but then also causing erosion and bringing all the pollutants, and then leading to more issues related to affecting the balance of coastal communities and ecosystems. So it's a very we have a huge range of hazards, and climate change is exacerbating all of these hazards, and something that we are really concerned about. Well, the first word that comes to my mind is preparedness. So with the new tools and techniques being used to help be more prepared to the range of hazards that we are facing, and that will give coastal practitioners the necessary techniques to make critical decisions in the time frames that they need to make them. So being more prepared through initiatives like Coast Predict will help ultimately lead to a reduction in impacts, hopefully, and lives being lost ultimately. So that's the first one. Secondly, I would think about technology. Coast Predict is really about the state of the art and coming up with new tools, leveraging things like artificial intelligence, digital twins, and so forth. So, bringing these new technologies into the ways that we manage the coast. The third one I would think about is not knowledge sharing. So, being a global community, this exchange of ideas, which is happening this week as part of the General Assembly. And this really great interaction and discussions that are going on in terms of sharing the knowledge and ensuring that we can pass on all the techniques which are beneficial, best practices, new standards and things. So I think that's a wonderful way that we can bring back to Australia as well. So I'm going to be a little bit biased here because my project is CoastSnap, which is a citizen science project where we use smartphones to monitor how coastlines are changing, and we have over 600 stations now over the world. So I think that's a great opportunity to be incorporated into Coast Predict. I can see a lot of synergies where we can use the CoastSnap to work with early warning systems and other approaches to really get these critical observations about how our coastlines are changing, and also to validate these tools as well. So that's also very important. The best thing about, I think, CoastSnap is that it's being collected by the community, so it's really people-centric, which is really a core theme of Coast Predict. So, yeah, a little bit biased. One of the things that I'm really excited about is also incorporating CoastSnap with other low-cost sensors. So, for instance, new techniques about measuring sea level in low-cost ways, which CoastSnap is really reliant on knowing the current state of the sea level, and bringing in all of these different low-cost technology in a network. I think there's a lot of opportunities there which we can exploit. Well, it's wonderful, as I said earlier, like knowledge sharing and networking is so important. This is the first time I've attended one of these meetings, and it's been just wonderful to meet a a whole range of different expertise from all different disciplines. It's very multidisciplinary. I've met so many new faces. In fact, it's one of the few times I've been to a meeting and I almost don't know anybody, which I think is wonderful. And that's a great opportunity to meet so many new people and discuss ideas and come up with new solutions so that we can all work together to solve all of these tremendous challenges that we face on the coast. Well, as I said earlier, my expertise is in coastal monitoring technologies. I've been working on the coastline, one of the best coastlines in the world in Sydney, Australia. I'm studying the beautiful beaches there for over 20 years. And we have one of the longest programs of measuring coastlines around the world. We've been measuring some beaches in Sydney every single month for almost 50 years. Which is an incredible record which we share with other researchers, and that's something we're excited about collaborating with. I'm also excited about being here in Italy because I actually used to live in Italy. I did my postdoc here in Emilia-Romagna in the University of Ferrara and working on early warning systems for the Adriatic coastline. So it's very exciting for me to be back here and bringing back some of the knowledge that I've subsequently been developing in Australia, but also remembering all of the good times I've had in Italy as well.